We call the recess meeting to order. The records show that Alderman Burgess, Altamont, Wade, Papania, Blackman, and Impey are present. Alderman Cox is absent. Director Glorioso will lead us in the invocation, and Alderman Impey in the pledge. Please stand.
Everybody, bow your head. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to go closer as a group, and nurture the bond of Ocean Springs. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to accept the amended agenda. Motion by Mr. Impey, second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda public comment. Public is invited to address the board up to 3 minutes on each regarding any issues listed on this agenda. Please begin by identifying yourself and the agenda item you're speaking to. You may come forward now. Okay, moving on to old business.
Wait.
Oh,
I'm sorry. It's, I think it on here, it's about the water bill.
Ma'am, identify yourself, please.
I'm sorry,
Identify yourself.
D. Francis Wickman.
Okay, and the
You want
agenda
to be really
item.
specific? Dorothy
No.
Francis Holmes, Garrett Wickman.
Okay, well, what item are you speaking to?
I'm looking for it. I know I had stopped by and seen that y'all were gonna talk about the water bills because I had stopped by earlier to discuss the fact that I had had a drip. And I said, I can understand you making me pay for the water even though I didn't know it was dripping, but why should I have to pay a sewer charge? Your sewer charges are twice as much as the water charge.
You don't, you just pay for the water.
She's on
She's
the list.
she's on the sewer, on the adjustment list?
She's on the list.
Okay,
So I paid for it, but she said I had to pay for it, but that y'all would make an adjustment.
You're on the list.
you're on the list to be adjusted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That takes a motion by the board. Because
I broke down my bills for the last 2 years. They go all the way from $40-something to $100.
Anyone else would like to address the board on the agenda item? Okay. Need a motion to appoint Kristen Capiatis. How do you say that?
Kristen Holly.
Okay, to the Civil Service Commission for a 6-year appointment ending June 30th, 2029.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Blackman. Was it Mr. Black? Mr. Impey? That was Rob. Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Mr. Wade. Is that you, Kevin?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We adopt a resolution approving the form of and authorizing the execution of an interlocal agreement between Jackson County, Mississippi and the city in connection with the tax increment financing plan for 1515 Government Street, June 2023, and related purposes. If anybody wants to ask a question, Troy Johnson is in the audience. Does anybody have any questions? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hippie,
Second.
second by Mr. Altamont. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to new
Mayor.
business.
I'm recusing from that vote.
Okay, so you got that, Hippie? New business, appeal of variance to the minimum side yard building setback at 425 Bills Avenue, PID 61450015.000. Applicant Jason Lampin, CJT Inc., Zoning Adjustment Board denied, recommended denial. Carolyn?
Yeah, what you have in front of you is appeals. They did recommend denial and he requested that you consider it. It is a 25% variance to the side yard setback on the north side of the property. It is a east facing property. The original request had been for a larger percentage, which is not allowed to recommend through the code. So he is accepting a 25% variance which would be 2.5 feet. Approval of this variance would make it consistent with the properties on either side and would not place a structure on the same side of the building. In other words, the property to the north will have a driveway on that side of the property. So it is, he's appealing to you in consideration of ZAB's recommendation tonight.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I don't have ones, but, yeah, it just seems like we're getting more and more of these. I know there's, we've got these boards and commissions, if we're not gonna go with their recommendations, seems like we need to support our boards and commissions. We're just getting too many of these.
Okay.
Did
Anybody?
we okay those prior to this, Carolyn, on Bills Avenue?
Yes.
Haven't we had a number of those on Bills?
There were several that were done all at once. The replat of the subdivision did include some slightly different HUD-like considerations, and there was, I can't remember, it was either 4 or 5 that were given a variance for this reason. This one wasn't included in the group because it was under different ownership at the time. But it is consistent, actually less than what was given to others.
Anybody else?
I'll make a motion to approve the 25% variance.
Got a motion by Mr. Wade,
Second.
second by Mr. Aldermen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Does anyone have anything to pull from the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Mr. Impey, second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Department reports. Anybody have anything to pull from the docket of claims? Is there a motion to approve the docket of claims?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Hippie, second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Does anyone have any questions about sewer adjustments? Is there a motion to authorize the sewer adjustments?
I'll make a motion to authorize the sewer, adjustments to the water to sewer accounts due to a finding that the customers did not receive the benefit of utility and the excess usage, was due to unforeseen circumstances.
Got a motion by Mr. Aldermen, second by Ms. Burgess. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. General public comment. Public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Only 2 speakers will be allowed per side of each issue. Please identify yourself clearly at the podium before speaking.
Good evening. James Lewis, 805 Cambridge Drive. I'm coming before you to see if there is an update that you can give me pertaining to the crosswalk that I talked about 2 weeks ago. Or Methodist Baptist Church.
Alan?
I have some signage that come in yesterday, and I'm waiting on some thermoplastic to redo the lines on the road. If everything, if I get it all together by next week, it should be done. I'll be just getting it.
Thanks so much.
You're gonna do in front of the Mary C also?
Try
Okay.
to-
Does anyone else would like to address the board? Okay, moving on to Mayor and Alderman's Forum. Ms. Burgess?
Yes, so I wanted to, very quickly, make a motion. I had a conversation, the CTE program at the Ocean Springs High School. They have an automotive program. And, we recently had a vehicle, that was approved by this board for non-use. They have some issues with, acquiring vehicles for the kids to work on. And so I would like to make a motion to turn that vehicle over to the school district specifically for their CTE automotive program.
What, you know which vehicle this was? Was it the one?
It
they
was-
helped to destroy?
No,
Pickup truck.
it was the truck.
It's a pickup truck. Where was it headed to after it was deemed not a useful to the city?
Listed in the auction.
It was gonna be auctioned,
It's gonna be auction.
so it has a value.
I ain't gonna say that, but it was listed on the auction.
Does the school need to request that vehicle from us?
No, actually, I've spoken with the CTE director and they're also their compliance person. There is a process. We need to make the motion and the resolution to transfer it to them. And then they'll make their BOT will start their process on receiving it.
Okay.
Now, this will have to include all the pertinence of the VIN number, a picture of it, all of that stuff.
I don't have a problem with it. It just seems like if the school wants it, they should
They should
request it.
request it first.
They've been working on that program significantly, and they've had other higher priority items. Getting the lift inspected and repaired amongst other things for that program. That was a little further down on the list, and as it happened, in the conversations that I had, we uncovered this opportunity. So it was kind of a mutual thing. I just kind of spearheaded it.
Mayor, we speak only through our minutes, and our minutes are going to show that we have donated a vehicle without a request. I'm not saying it's violating statute, but just for someone looking 5 years down the road, I think it would be much cleaner if there was a request and then we responded.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, no, not a problem.
It'll only delay it a couple of weeks. We'll still get it to them. Yeah, okay.
Thank
There's a motion by Ms., no
Well, no,
motion then.
this-
We're gonna
well,
wait for them
so
to request it. Okay,
We'll wait
that's
for
fine.
the
Okay.
request and then I'll resubmit it.
All right, good. Anything else, Jim?
No.
I have a couple of things. I need, a motion to add $547.84 to my, Alderman account for a repair that was done to a sign at the front of the entrance to Washington. And since we're at the end of the budget cycle, I was trying to get it on by tomorrow for the last year's. So if I can have a motion to pass the $547.84 paid to ABC Glass.
Got a motion by Mr. Aldermen, second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
And then I got one more thing. I need to go ahead and make a motion that we approve to go out for advertising for possibly two spots on the historical
Up to
committee.
two,
Up to
definitely
two spots
one.
on historical, so we can continue having a quorum.
okay. Got a motion by Mr. Aldermen,
Second.
second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's it.
Alderman Wade.
Alan, what's the update on the speed limit sign on Kensington?
They should be probably getting mounted tomorrow, hopefully. Put the post up, got that upset, let the concrete harden, but he said he was trying to mount.
That sounds good. Thanks.
That's the one on Homestead also.
Yeah.
Alderman Pena.
Ward 4 is in great shape, Mayor. Thank you.
You run a tight ship over there.
You got it.
Alderman Blackman.
Carolyn, can you give me the update on the sidewalk project? Because we're
I was-
October now.
I was told 2 weeks ago that I would have that letter of authorization advertised in a week. So I haven't received it.
That was 2 weeks ago.
So I will follow up, but it's 3 to tell me, I mean, it's the next step, and I expect it to happen before the end of the month.
They look nice.
They've been sitting there for 2 years.
Has it been that long?
I was gonna ask about that myself.
They have everything though, and I was supposed to get it within the last 2 weeks, but. End of the month.
Keep me up to date, please.
Alderman
I'll let you
Nippy.
know as soon as I know.
I was just looking for an update on paving.
Me too.
Aren't we all?
We had a meeting with, Brian Fulton this morning. And he really doesn't have anything to share. That's done by Joe O'Neill. I'm gonna call Mr. O'Neill first thing in the morning. I understand it's best to get in touch with him between 6:30 and 7. So I'll catch him on my walk in the morning, and we plan to have him come to City Hall, so we don't have to discuss this over the phone and go over the list and see what kind of milling we're going to be able to do and so forth. But I had a question too, because some of the numbers look, I was expecting numbers to look a little different than what they're looking. So.
Good. That's all I've got.
Okay. A couple of things at the Mary C this past week. James Meredith was in town. He was signing photography. They had a photography display in the museum there. Really, really neat. He stayed about an hour and a half, 2 hours signing books. Met with one of our city residents who was in the courtroom as a teenager, correct? In Gulfport, in Biloxi. Okay. So a lot of neat stuff there, a lot of history, Mississippi history, American history. So anyway, if you missed it, you missed something really special. Also, something else really special was a cemetery tour. And I don't have the trophy here, the Academy, the Oscar, but if I did, it would go to Miss Burgess. She did one heck of a job. So anyway, thanks for that, Jennifer.
It was fun.
Yes.
So
Oh, you want to talk about garbage, right?
I did not put on there, but I need a motion to go ahead and go out for the garbage bid. You know, everybody's been supposed to send stuff. I'm just gonna put the bid out as it was put out 4 years ago, because I haven't really had any updates from anybody, but I need to get that going.
I did. I talked about the portal that's on the beach.
Oh, being a different color.
Well, no, just being that we put in the contract that if we need them replaced, and then we need those replaced like every couple of years, that's really considered permanent to the beach, and they look terrible.
Is that the only place we have those, is on the beach?
Yeah, we've had them. They replaced them about 2 years ago, but the graffiti and I had.
They might have replaced them with used
Rubenstein.
ones that look.
Well, Rubenstein replaced them for us, but maybe they weren't new, but he did. And I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that contract needs to say that those.
You want it every summer?
The one at.
Well, it's not every
the boat
summer, every
launch.
other.
No, but she asked if those were the only ones.
Oh, we can only pay for yours, huh?
The boat launch,
No.
Those are ours.
Oh,
that's what I thought. Okay, I'm sorry, I was just making sure that.
yours is covered though.
Okay, so what do you want to do, Ricky?
I'd like to add to it that whoever gets the contract, they need to be brand new. And then I guess every couple of years, swapped out.
Okay.
Probably would be a
Or
bad
just
idea
swapped out
for a
as needed.
handicap down there somewhere.
Was that,
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for a handicap down there somewhere.
it would be too wide though for that parking spot unless we turn the door into the street.
Unless we put it on the inside.
We have handicap at the Ford. Imagine we do have handicap at the Ford, so maybe you stick it down there close to the yacht club.
But that's
if
really
it'll
all I
fit.
saw on it.
I think Robert said I really need a motion for y'all to say I can go out for bids. So I need somebody to make that
All
motion.
right, I make a motion. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'll make the motion to go out for bid on the garbage
Motion
contract.
by Mr. Impey.
With my changes. Okay,
Are you second?
second.
Okay, second by Mr. Altamont. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn till November 7th? Motion by Mr. Impey,
Everybody's so.
second by Mr. Wade. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned.
Quickly, Kenny, the footage that the county finally put on paving